Welcome to the Fishbowl with Jade, where we put on our scuba gear and take a deeper dive beneath the surface. And today, we're not talking about breakups. We're not talking about cheating. We're talking about something quieter, something that doesn't always get said out loud, but a lot of people are living in real time. What happens when someone still loves you, but they don't like you anymore? This really sat with me because I was listening to a content creator and she was talking about another influencer who said after her relationship ended, being with her partner started to feel like being with a woman. And I had to pause right there because that statement on the surface, people will take it one way, but underneath, it's deeper than that. That doesn't always mean she thought he was feminine. It could mean she felt like she was carrying the relationship, like she was the dominant energy, the one leading, deciding, providing, holding everything together. And at some point, that shifted how she experienced him. And that made me think about roles, not just traditional roles, but felt roles, the ones people don't always say out loud. Because yes, times have changed. You have women who are the breadwinners, women making more money, running businesses, leading households, and you also have men who are staying home, supporting in different ways. And on paper, that should work because partnership is about balance, not gender. But here's where we have to be real. Even though society has evolved, human psychology hasn't fully caught up. And when a woman starts to feel like she's doing everything, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, physically, cutting the yard, fixing things, making decisions, carrying the vision, something starts to shift inside her. And it's not always intentional. It's not always something she even wants to feel, but it happens. And this is where it stops being theory and starts looking like real life. And sometimes it doesn't look dramatic, it looks regular, every day, the kind of moments people don't even realize are changing the relationship. It looks like this. It's Saturday morning. The kids are up. One needs breakfast. One can't find their shoes. Something needs to be signed for school. And she's moving, cooking, answering questions, getting things together while you're sitting there, not because you don't care, but because you're waiting to be told what to do. And after a while, she stops asking and just does it. Or it looks like this. She asks you to handle something simple. Maybe it's scheduling the appointment, helping with homework, picking something up, and either it doesn't get done or it gets done halfway. And now she's following behind you, fixing it. And over time, she stops trusting you with things and just adds it to her list. And on the other side, it can look like this. You come in ready to help, ready to do something. And before you even get started, she's already stepped in. I got it. Just let me do it. Correcting how you're doing it, redoing it her way. And after a while, you stop offering because it feels like no matter what you do, it's not going to be enough or it's going to get taken over anyway. Or it looks like this. You're home, you're present, but you're not engaged. She's handling dinner, helping the kids, thinking about tomorrow, and you're on your phone, decompressing, and in your mind, you worked, you're tired, you deserve that moment, but in her mind, she's still working, and now it feels like she never gets to clock out. And then there are the quiet moments, like decisions about the house, finances, the kids, where one person is making all the calls and the other is just agreeing. And at first, it feels like cooperation. But over time, it starts to feel like one person is carrying the responsibility and the other is just going along. And none of these moments seem big on their own, but repeated over time, they start to shift how you see each other. Because when you feel like you don't need your partner and that feeling is not replaced with respect, admiration, or value, the relationship starts to feel different. It starts to feel optional. And that's where liking begins to fade. And that's the part people don't like to say out loud because it sounds harsh, but it's honest. You can love someone and still not like how they show up in your life. You can care about them and still feel disconnected from them because love and liking are not the same thing. Love can be loyalty, history, attachment, but liking is enjoyment, admiration, attraction, respect. And when liking starts to fade, the relationship doesn't always explode. It shifts quietly. Conversations get shorter. Patience gets thinner. Small things become irritating, and you can't always explain why. You just know something feels off. But let's not make this one sided because this isn't just about men not stepping up. Sometimes men do step back, sometimes they get comfortable, sometimes they lose direction, sometimes they stop showing up in ways that create partnership and that matters. But sometimes women step forward and never step back, sometimes out of necessity, sometimes out of habit, sometimes because they don't trust things will get done unless they do it. And what starts as I got it turns into I have to do everything. And over time, that turns into resentment. And now you have a dynamic where one person feels unneeded and the other feels unsupported. And neither one is fully wrong, but the relationship is still breaking. And here's the uncomfortable truth: doing everything doesn't always make you feel powerful. Sometimes it makes you feel alone. And when you feel alone in a relationship, that's when emotional disconnection starts. And for men, this is where you have to hear it without getting defensive, because this is not just about money, it's about presence, direction, consistency. Are you creating stability? Are you making decisions? Are you contributing in a way that can be felt? But for women, there's truth on your side too, because independence can quietly turn into control, and control can remove the space for partnership. And this is how people slowly trade roles without realizing it. And before we even talk about fixing it, we have to sit in one more truth. Because sometimes the man didn't just step back, he adapted to the space that was left for him. And sometimes the woman didn't just take on more, she took control in a way that didn't leave room for partnership. And accountability has to be shared, not divided. So, how do you fix it? Not with one conversation, but with real adjustment. Tell the truth about the dynamic, define roles, make contribution felt, rebuild respect through consistency. Women, release control where it's safe. Men, step forward with intention. And both of you ask, do we still want to like each other again? Because love might keep you there, but effort is what rebuilds it. Because one day you can wake up next to someone who loves you and still feel like they don't choose you. And that silence doesn't come from being alone, it comes from being together and still not feeling chosen. Thank you for sitting in the bowl with me. Now let's come back to the surface. Stay classy, stay curious, stay ever evolving. The Fishbowl with Jade can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, YouTube, and iHeartRadio.